Hello everyone, Ali, broker with Remax. I sell real estate in the Greater Toronto area. I decided to put together a video of all of the highest and lowest selling properties this past year. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to be focusing on properties that I've sold through the Toronto Regional Real Estate Board, or TREB as we agents like to call it. Privately listed or exclusive properties will remain as that, private. I will disclose addresses and some general property information. These properties are public and you can Google all of the information as well. Out of respect for the individuals involved, I will not be disclosing their identities. So I'd like to start off by going over properties that I've sold for the highest percentage over asking price. If you've been keeping an eye on the Toronto real estate market, a lot of properties have been selling for over asking price, and that's because we've had a shortage of supply for the past little while. First though, I want to make clear that the original asking price is by no means a fair representation of the property's market value. Depending on market conditions, such as supply, demand, existing inventory or competition, the property, its location, its condition and finishes, some realtors will purposely underprice the property in order to maximize its marketing exposure, get as many eyeballs on it online, and hopefully just as many people to walk through the property and view it in person. That in turn will hopefully generate some buzz and create a bidding war amongst buyers on the offer presentation night. Now, that's not to say that all properties are sold through this manner. Some are actually priced accurately. However, given the limited supply of properties, they do sell above asking price because the competition is just that stiff amongst buyers. So now that I've made that clear, I'm going to start off with the condo market. These three properties are all in different areas and they're all a bit unique in their own way. This first property is located in Oshawa. It sold for 166% over asking price. It was listed at $199,000 and it sold for $330,000. Now, what's more amazing to me is that there's a condo available in GTA at under $350,000. Shifting locations to downtown Toronto, this condo is a bit more relatable to most of you. It's a 1-bedroom plus den on Bay Street, and it was grossly underpriced at $499,000, and it sold for $745,000. They clearly utilized the offer presentation strategy, and they got 149% over asking price. Moving uptown a little bit puts us into the Rosedale Moore Park neighborhood, where this co-ownership condo sold for 139% over asking price. It was a 2-bedroom, 2-bath with over 1,200 square feet of living space. It was originally listed at $1,295,000, and the eventual selling price was at $1,800,000. So yes, even during the midst of the pandemic, when the average prices of most condos were coming down, buyers were still lining up and bidding on those properties because there was something unique and special about those condos. Usually it has to do with the location, its view, the condo building itself, or the interior finishes of the property. Now let's shift over to the freehold market. Freehold meaning that there is no condo fee or maintenance fee attached to the property, whether it's detached, semi, or a townhouse. In some cases, there's a small road maintenance fee. Otherwise, the entire property itself is considered a freehold property. First on the list is 15 and 17 Emott Avenue, located at Victoria Park in Danforth neighborhood. These two properties were owned by the same person. They were listed at $425,000 and they sold for $795,000. That's 187% over asking price. Now, what's interesting about these two properties is that the structures on the lots were actually worthless. This is only for lot value. There's plenty of opportunities here. You can build 2 separate homes on these individual lots. You can combine the lots and build one large detached property. Now, next on the list is a townhouse located Queen and Dovercourt area. It sold for 182% over asking price. It was listed at $1.1 million and it sold for $2 million. Yep, an old townhouse downtown Toronto sold for $2 million. It's a bit crazy, I know. However, despite it being old and a bit beat up, the interior is actually quite large, and there's an opportunity to redevelop this into a multi-unit dwelling. And finally, do you recall that little shed downtown Toronto that made headlines all across the city? 300 Euclid Avenue. It's located in Little Italy. If you had spoken to your realtor about it, you would by now know that the price or the value of the property is in the lot, not the actual structure. Now, it's listed at $1 million and it sold for $1.8 million, 181% over asking price. Now, what most of you don't know is that the seller of this property had also bought it in a bidding war back in 2017. It was listed at $899,000 and he paid over $1.2 million for it. He paid 135% over asking price. Now, a lot of people are asking, what did he do to the actual property? By the looks of it, nothing. As I mentioned, this is lot value. The actual structure itself is worthless. So just by market appreciation and buyer demand, this guy made about $600,000 in 3 years' time. Not too bad, huh? I wonder if he had invested his money in the stock market, would he have made the same kind of return? And if you know of any stocks that would generate that kind of return, please leave a comment down below. All right, let's get into the next segment of this video, the highest and lowest selling properties that sold in 2020. I'm gonna leave the highest for last. Let's get into the lowest first, and we'll start off in the condo market. The lowest selling condo is actually lower than the one that I mentioned in Oshawa, and that was pretty shocking. This one-bedroom condo located at 4675 Jane Street, which is between Steeles Avenue and Finch Avenue, sold for $135,000. So for those of you that complain that Toronto is too expensive to live in, move to Jane and Finch. You'll find affordable housing there. Most lenders won't actually finance a purchase in this building because it's in pretty rough shape, and not just because of the location. And so therefore, the selling prices are substantially lower than the market average. The least expensive was a townhouse located in central Oshawa. It was a 2-bedroom, 1-bath townhouse, sold as is, where is. There was actually also a tenant inside, and the tenant came with the property. They were in the middle of a lease. It sold for $230,000, which as an investor, if you're looking to rent out a property, it's actually not a bad purchase. There were some opportunities out east, far out there, for you to pick up on the cheap, let's be honest here, and rent it out and perhaps generate a pretty decent monthly return. And now let's get into the most expensive. We've all been waiting for this. Located in the very prestigious and affluent neighborhood of Yorkville. The penthouse unit at 77 Charles Street sold for $9 million. Yeah, I was shocked. And boy, is it a beautiful condo. It offers 2 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, and 4 parking spots for all of those exotic cars that you must have. And on top of that, it's got over 3,700 square feet of living space, which is larger than my parents' home up in Richmond Hill. This is a very unique and beautiful property. The features, the finishes, the layout, and the views are absolutely incredible. I encourage you to Google it and see if you can find some pictures. And if you can't, send me a message, I'll send you the listing. The most expensive property that has sold in the year 2020. Most of you probably have an idea as to where it is located and probably are assuming that it is massive. And that it is. This particular property sits on a 185 by 545 foot lot. That's approximately 1.9 acres in lot size. The actual square footage of this property is undetermined because it is quite frankly that large. This neighborhood is the epitome of luxury and affluence, and not just Toronto, but I dare to say Canada. It is a highly desirable neighborhood, unattainable by most. It is none other than 93 The Bridle Path. What I found most interesting about this property, given its enormous size, is that it only has 4 bedrooms. I'm sure they're massive, but only 4. It does have, however, 9 bathrooms, a 4-car garage. It comes with the next set of features that I'm going to mention are pretty typical for luxury properties of this size, mansions I should say, not luxury. Elevators, it's got a swimming pool, a library, massage room, golf simulator, home theater room. When I mention these features, these rooms, they are pretty much the size of a house by themselves. It comes with 7 air conditioning units to cool down the house. It's also got 7 heating systems to warm up the house, and the annual property taxes are over $78,000. So that is one massive home that I encourage you to go check out. You can Google it, 93 The Bridle Path. I'm sure you'll find the details of the property. And if you want me to send you the listing, just send me a DM with your email address. So that is it. That's the end of the video. That was the most expensive home that sold in all of 2020. If you found this video interesting and you enjoyed the content, please leave a comment, like it, and share it with anyone else that you think would like the video as well. I will recreate this in 2021. Until then, please take care of yourselves. Enjoy the holidays. Happy New Year. I wish you all of the best that 2021 has to offer, and I'll see you next year. Take care.